Hi, so today we are going to learn about the four types of chemical reactions. The four types of chemical reactions are synthesis, decomposition, single replacement, and double replacement. Synthesis is just as the name suggests. Synthesis means to make or to combine. So, a synthesis reaction is when you combine two elements, for example, A plus B, and you form a compound. Remember, the definition for a compound is the combination of two or more elements. So, that's synthesis. The next type of chemical reaction is decomposition. And just as the name suggests, it means to decompose or to break apart. So decomposition is the opposite of synthesis. So you notice when in synthesis you had A plus B forming a B, in decomposition you are now going to be breaking apart AB to form its constituent elements, A plus B. I usually tell kids to remember decomposition as like divorce, right? They're no longer a couple, they have separated. The next type of chemical reaction is single replacement. Single replacement is when you have a compound plus a single element, and that single element replaces one of the elements in the compound. So, in the example, A plus B plus C, the C replaces that B there, and now the compound form is AC plus the single element B. The fourth type of chemical reaction is double replacement. And as that one suggests, you are going to replace one of the elements in each of the compound. So now, if you notice, you have a reaction of two compounds, AB plus CD, forming now AC plus BD. So what happened? They swapped elements. So now the B that was here kind of went over to this side, and the C that was here went over on that side. Right, so that's the four types of chemical reaction. We're going to try this out because we know in the real world and in chemistry, we're not going to be using A and B. We're actually going to be using compounds. So let's try this out with some real examples. So let's look at number one. Number one says P, which is phosphorus, plus oxygen forms P4O10. And we need to figure out, what type of chemical reaction is this? Well, if you look at the pattern, right, this is a single element plus, I know this looks like a compound here, but remember O2 kind of stays together. That's a molecule. So this sort of is it's just like if we had an element by itself, but really it's a molecule. So we don't have any new kind of other element there. It's just O and O together there. So this type of chemical reaction would really be a synthesis, right? It would be, and we're going to write that in. Let's use blue. Okay. Right? This would be a synthesis reaction, right? You see you have one element there plus, well, I know this is not one element here. It's a molecule, but the molecule is of that one type of element, right? Remember, a compound is two or more different elements. So this would be a synthesis. Why don't we try another one? Let's try this one, right? Now we have, what is this here? This is a compound, right? Because look at it. We have this element. If we go to the periodic table to check to make sure, this is Hg, mercury, plus oxygen. So now we have two elements that are together. We call this a compound, right? So now we had a compound that decomposed into one element plus a separate element, right? Or molecule in this case. So this would be a decomposition reaction, right? So I'm going to stop there and you're going to try the rest. However, make sure that when you're finished with this part, you want to make sure that your elements are balanced, right? And then you would go back and do what I did before, which is balance the elements, right? Any questions, just feel free to ask me.